Yo, it's your boy DZ, man. You already know it's not about the setback, it's about the get back. All right, man. The first part of the YSL trial has come to an end. The two people that were left on the trial, they decided to go all the way and were found not guilty of the RICO. One person was found guilty of one charge. Shannon Stillwell was found guilty of possession of a firearm. The judge sentenced him to 10 years with 2 years time served and the remaining time on probation. Yak Gotti, he was found not guilty of everything. He is the only person that was found not guilty of everything. Now, he believed he was innocent. And we going to be real with that. When you feel that you're innocent, you go all the way to trial. If you feel that there's a doubt of guilt, you might cop out. Now, Thug copped out because Thug felt that he had a chance of losing. If I was Thug, I would have went all the way. But you know, the state offered that probation deal, and the probation deal seemed so good. It might be a trap for Thug, but we know one person came out with not guilty all the way, and that was Yak Gotti, man. Hey, man, the brother was telling in his past, but he took this situation to trial and beat it. You never know how a case can go with the jury. Sometimes it can go in your favor, and sometimes it can go against you. In this situation here, it worked out for the last two because they had plea offers of 25 years. And they came off. Not guilty, 2 years, time served, probation. Going to trial, though. Usually when you go to trial, they want to throw the book at you and give you the max, which the judge did say, I have to give you the max. But she had the ability to cut the time and give him probation on the remaining time. But he did get the max sentence, which was 10 years for the possession of firearm. So, Brian Steele, his boy, Matt Sharp, he spoke out about his client. And, the trial's been going on for a year now. And they've been going to war for them boys' lives. And we can say that. Them lawyers made a statement out of ATL. Even though we seen the prosecutors fumbling, playing a lot of games, trying to use cheat methods, the defense attorneys went to war, man. And we gotta be real. Those defense attorneys went straight to war. And we're gonna check out Brian Steele speaking out, man. I mean Matt Sharp, excuse me.
30-year-old about turning his life around and having a second chance at life and making it mean something and being there for one's children and for one's family. So I'm just so happy, excited for Shannon. I'm happy and excited for his grandmother, who I was able to hug, and I'm happy for his kids, and I'm just very hopeful that this is a turning point and there's great things coming in the future.
Max, is this a fair and just verdict, do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The jurors, we asked so much of the jurors, and they really scrutinized the evidence, and they demanded real evidence, and it wasn't there. And so we are thankful for the jurors, and it's just a great day.
Did you have a chance to talk to the jurors?
I did, and I'm not going to comment on the discussions with the jurors, but I will just say I think the fact that they deliberated for 4 days, and also that just the amount of time that they put in, they certainly scrutinized everything, and they did their jobs as jurors, and we are appreciative of that and so thankful.
Can you reiterate again what He was only found guilty on one charge, and what that means for the future, him getting released, all that stuff.
So he was found guilty of possession of a firearm on March 17th, not the day of any of any other crimes. It was the day that he was arrested.
Okay.
And there was a gun that was registered to his girlfriend that was found near the scene of where he was arrested, and that's what he was convicted of. Judge Whitaker, we are so thankful to her for having an open mind. A lot of times when you take a case to trial, you just get the maximum sentence for daring to take on the state. Judge Whitaker did not see it that way. She gave Mr. Stillwell a time-served sentence for the time that he is served, followed by probation. Mr. Stillwell has a couple, or I think one other criminal matter that needs to be resolved. I am hopeful and optimistic. It's nothing like this case. It's a case that was picked up while incarcerated, and we're hopeful that there will be a quick resolution of that case, and Mr. Stillwell will be able to get back to his life and his children and his family.
You think he'll be home by Christmas? Is that
I'm hoping.
Okay.
That's not unrealistic.
I know you don't want to get into exactly what the jurors said, but what do you think their one sticking point was?
I don't think there was one sticking point. I don't think there was. So many people have been watching this case. In opening, I said from the beginning about the witnesses in blue suits and wearing the Fulton County blues, and I think the world got to see how cases can be built the wrong way. Just finding people that are prone to lie and talking to them at their most desperate time to try to get them to say things about other people, and I think that's what happened here, and I think the jurors recognize that. And of course, regarding the 2022 case, that was on video, and I think we explained what we saw in the video, and I think the jurors likely saw the same thing.
What kind of message should this verdict send to the taxpayers of Fulton County?
Oh, I don't know about all that. The message that was sent to me is my client has a second chance at life, and we're just so thankful for that. And I know he is, and we are also just so thankful to the press for covering this, and all the people that at some point the public began to root for us, and that did make a difference, and we appreciate all the people that have been supporting us throughout this process, this long journey.
Can you speak to the conditions in the jail?
I mean, and I don't mean to, we know that Shannon was stabbed in the stomach earlier in this trial, while this trial was going on. We know we had to break for a week, or at least a week, might have been 2 weeks for his recovery. I was the only person allowed to go see him in the hospital. And so that was, and then Mr. Kendrick was stabbed in the head recently. So obviously those are serious, and we got to make sure we take care of people, especially people that are not even convicted of anything. And so that's I think it's something we need to address. I'm not blaming any particular person, but it's something as a society and as a city we need to take care of.
Hey. Now, chat, what do y'all think, man? Should Young Thug have kept going? I want y'all to tell me that. Should Young Thug have kept going and not took that plea? Because one person was found not guilty of everything. Only one person. Shannon Stillwell got convicted of possession of a firearm. And I really want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this situation. Because I feel Thug should have kept going. This is my opinion. I feel he should have kept going because he had a lot of errors in the case where the case would have got thrown all the way out. It would have got not guilty. You see what happened to Yak Gotti. They didn't prove no RICO beyond a reasonable doubt. Nothing said RICO, but they added the RICO in here to hype the case up. And the case was screwed up from the beginning. Let's be real. The case was screwed up from the beginning. And I don't know if y'all watched the verdict, but we going to watch the verdict right now. We're going to watch the verdict right now. And let me see.
All right, good morning, everybody. We have a verdict. We have two verdicts. And I do not want there to be any kind of disruption or disturbance in court, regardless of what this verdict is. So, can we get the jury out, please?
All rise for the jury. Pause, your president accounted for.
All right, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that you all have reached a verdict. Mr. Foreperson, is that correct? All right, and was it unanimous? Yes. All right, and this verdict has been filled in and signed and dated by you, correct? Or on for each defendant? All right, and I noticed that Mr. Kendrick's verdict form is dated December 2nd. Is that because that's when you all reached the verdict with regard to him? Okay. And then Mr. Stillwell's is dated today? Okay. In this case, you are welcome to stay for the sentencing, or you can return to the jury room. I would like to speak with you in just a moment in the jury room.
Yo, let me know, chat. Should Thug have continued the trial? We see what happened with Yak Gotti and Shannon Stillwell. Shannon Stillwell got convicted of possession of a firearm, and the judge gave him 10 years, 2 years in, time served, and the rest on probation. Now, Shannon has another open case that he has to deal with, so he's not going home right now. But Yak Gotti's going home today. And Thug should have just held out. It was only a month. If he would have held out for the month, he would have been cleared of everything. So the tactic that the state used to get young Thug to take the plea, it worked for the state. They got a conviction out of Thug. I personally think Thug should have just kept rocking. I go to trial, every time. I've been to trial 6 times. And every time I go to trial, I pick the jury and I rock. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel if he felt it was any technicality in that situation, he should have kept rocking. And that's just my opinion. When you feel you got that angle to go at and you feel that you're not guilty, you go at that angle. When they offer you a plea to time served, probation, that means that they feel that they're losing the case. We all have to understand that. When they feel like they're losing the case, they're going to offer that. Facts on facts. Too ready to get out of nothing. Same old still going on. Yeah, young Thug done took the plea knowing he going to be out there running the streets again. After a year out on the streets, you get to forgetting about sitting there fighting for your life. And that's real. You like, okay, I'm home now. You start making slick moves. We see what these dudes do. They get out and get to forgetting about these situations. And that's why Thug should have kept rocking. Thug should have kept fighting because he had a chance to get him. He had the case beat. We got to pay attention to that, man. And he took that plea. And now the other people, the two left, they got found not guilty. And it would have came out better for Thug if he would have just kept fighting, man. Being honestly. You know, I'm going to be honest with that. I would have wanted to keep rocking. Make sure that I get everything dismissed. Because now Thug can't even go back to Atlanta. He can't even go back to Atlanta unless it's a funeral, wedding, or, you know, some family function, I guess, that's important. Graduation, something like that. But now he got to walk on pins and needles because they're going to be looking for a reason to violate him. And that's real. What y'all think about that? Y'all think Thug should have kept going? Let's be real. Y'all think he should have took the plea like he did? Did he do the right thing, or should he kept fighting? How y'all feel about that? Yeah, the verdicts then came down, and it is what it is. Them boys kept fighting. And I think, honestly, you know, this is just me saying this, right? I think the jury seen that Yak Gotti just got stabbed up in the jail because they had Yak's verdict since yesterday. His verdict was in since yesterday. And the jury seen that he got stabbed this past weekend, right? So he came to court on Monday, stabbed up, stapled up, and the jury made their decision because I guess they didn't see no evidence tying him to the RICO. And honestly, I didn't see no evidence where they was putting him in the RICO. It was a loophole. He played the lawyer. He paid that lawyer a lot of money. That lawyer would have worked his magic. Yes. Thug paid that lawyer a whole bunch of money. Of course, he should have kept rocking because he had him. A lot of people said he should have stayed in jail. Yeah. For 30 days. This was 30 days. Thug, I think it's only been about 30 days since Thug took the plea. So Thug been out 30 days. If he would have sat in jail for 30 more days, he wouldn't have had no probation or nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm going to say about the time that it happened to me. You know, I was fighting the case, and the prosecutors tried to say probation. They said, here, take this probation. But I had a paid attorney. He told me I was going to get 4 years. I'm like, hold on. I'm not taking a plea to anything, right? So then the prosecutors come with probation, and I say I'm not taking a plea to nothing. Do y'all know they dismissed the case? This is the games they play. This is how the system go. When they feel that they're losing, they're going to offer you an incredible deal. Here, take this. That's just so they can get the conviction. When you take that deal, they get their conviction. So they got a conviction on Thug. They didn't get the conviction they wanted, where they wanted to take him out the game, but they got a conviction. So that was their major point. They mad because they lost the case all around, and you can see it in their face, but they got a conviction. And they was trying to get these murder convictions, and that is what they didn't get. So the judge, she didn't let the victim's mom speak at Thug's sentencing. And the mom wanted to speak at Thug's sentence. The judge said, nah, you're not speaking at this sentence because he's not been convicted of your son's murder, right? Now, nobody got convicted of her son's murder. And y'all know Fannie Willis, she told the mother that I'm going to get Thug. I'm going to get somebody found guilty for your son's murder. And that's what she said to the world on the news. It didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way because nobody got found guilty of murder. But they do have another set of people that are about to go on trial. And I don't know if any of them are reference to Nuts murder, but they do have some murder cases that they have. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if anybody's in reference to Nuts murder, but they do have people that have some murder cases that are about to start this trial that's coming up. But in my opinion, when you know you got a loophole or you know you got an angle to fight, you keep going to trial. I don't care if you feel you're going to get found guilty. You continue to go to trial, especially if they offer you a deal that's just like outrageous. Good. Oh man, y'all going to give me probation? Come on, man. It's a reason why they're giving you probation, because they feel that they're going to lose this case, but they just want to get a conviction out of you. That's how they got Thug. They got a conviction, and they tried to take some of his assets, they said. But he fought back on that with the plea deal, and he got the plea to what he got it to, where they couldn't take nothing from him. But for them to negotiate to that level, they knew that they was losing. And y'all got to understand that. When they start negotiating at that level and they know that they're losing, they're going to give you some unreal plea. Like, how did I get this? Y'all just was trying to give me life. Thug didn't even have no plea the whole case. The whole case, Thug didn't have no plea. He was looking at life. They come to the last month of the trial and offer him probation, time served. You have to understand that's because they didn't have a case. If they would have had a case, it was no way they were going to offer him time served, man. Pay attention to that, man. They understood that his constitutional rights have been violated. They might not try to hold up on those constitutional rights, but when it goes to the Supreme Court, they got to look at that. So they knew that they violated his constitutional rights all the way around the board. The case was messed up from the jump. So, of course, that's why they said, here, Thug, take this plea, man. I mean, chat, let me know what y'all feel. How y'all feel about these dudes being found not guilty? Do y'all feel these dudes was guilty? Do y'all feel these dudes was guilty, man? I want y'all to let me know with that, chat, because they went to war. Even though they've been telling in their past, these dudes was rats in their past, they done told about other situations. But in this situation here, they went all the way to trial and they got found not guilty on the RICO when everybody thought they was done with 25-year plea deals. You feel me? These dudes had 25-year plea deals now. And they went all the way, stood up. You understand what I'm saying? And I can relate. You feel what I'm saying? They tried to offer me a plea deal to manslaughter. You understand what I'm saying? I said, nah, why would I take a manslaughter plea deal when I know I didn't kill nobody? It doesn't even make no sense. But these are the manipulation games they do. You understand? And when I didn't take the deal, I went all the way to trial. You feel me? And those things was not guilty. But this is the deals that they try to offer you to try to get a conviction. These dudes didn't take the deal, man. Y'all pay attention, man. If you feel you got the case beat, you got to go to war, man. You know, they'll try to use scare tactics on you. It's the game. They'll try to use all kinds of scare tactics on you to get you to plea, and you thinking like, I got to take this deal. And that's what happened to Thug. Thug said, I'm tired of sitting in jail. He was sitting in jail for 2 years. And he was tired of sitting in jail. And he took a plea deal to 40 years, 15 years probation. That plea was outrageous, man. And I'm going to be honest, man. I don't think Thug is going to make it. Do y'all think Thug is going to make 15 years probation untouched? I want y'all to tell me that. Do y'all think he's going to make 15 years of probation untouched? No violations, no technicals, no nothing. Because 3 technicals can send you back and get your whole time. And y'all know that, right? 3 technical violations can send you to jail and you get your whole bit. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, man. Should Thug took the plea? You know? Would y'all have taken the plea? Let's ask that. Would y'all have said, I'm going to take the plea because I want to go home? And it's a lot of brothers in jail, right? Fighting cases. And they just tired of sitting in jail. And they'll plead guilty when they really got a chance to beat it, just to go home and get on probation and violate and go back to jail. Are y'all catching that? It's a lot of brothers that'll take the plea deal to go home just to get on probation and violate and catch another bit. So, man. I would say go to war, man. That's just me. I would say go to war. I want to see, let me see, hold on. All right. This is, let me see what Stillwell's lawyer said. Let's check out Stillwell's lawyer. Let's see what Stillwell's lawyer said.
Just your reaction, what happened?
You know, Diamante and I I want to say we were surprised because given that the jury had clearly been looking at all the evidence, we thought that this was the only outcome they could really come to. But nevertheless, we were thrilled. Just he's looking forward to getting out, getting back to his music, getting back to his family. All the supporters he's had, all the prayers, all the love. It's been wonderful. And I didn't say this earlier to everybody else, but I've got to thank Judge Whitaker. The entire case changed when she took over. We got a fair trial. And anyway, it's just a wonderful experience. Sir, absolutely. Thank you.
And what I'm going to say to that, right? I would totally agree with him when he's saying as soon as Judge Whitaker got the case, they got a fair trial. And it's sad to say that when Judge Glanville, a black judge, he wasn't being fair. It's sad to say, and I got to be real, that the white judge came in and she was fair through the whole proceeding. I have to agree on that. She came in, treated the proceeding as a judge was supposed to, being the referee instead of trying to be the prosecution's friend. And y'all got to agree with me on that because Judge Glanville was being the prosecution's friend. Everything the prosecution said, he agreed with. Anything the defense said, he had questioned it. So from us seeing that we caught a fair proceeding and we see how the proceeding went, I guarantee you Thug would have been found not guilty. You understand what I'm saying? Thug would have got a not guilty verdict if he would have stayed in there and kept rumbling. But he got scared. You understand? With your life on the line, that's a decision you got to make. And Thug got scared. That's why he checked out the situation. He said, hold on. They let me sign out? I'm going to sign out. But them other bulls, they had 25-year plea deals. I'm not signing up to no 25-year plea deal. Nah, I'm not doing it. You know, it's some dudes that do it, and it might be in their best interest. And we got to be real. That might be their best interest. Now, what y'all think, chat? Would y'all would have signed up to a 25-year plea deal? Come on, man. 25 years? Nah. And they did the right thing. Because now they got not guilty, and then the one bull, Shannon, got probation. Time served. So I think they both weighed their decision the right way in that situation. Thug, he didn't do right. Because now he's looking at, I guarantee, because the boy Yak Gotti about to come home and drop music. He make music too. And we already know from watching 6ix9ine, rats still get the exposure when they drop music. If they drop good music, they still gonna get the exposure. And we all see that. Rats get the same exposure if they make good music. So this dude is about to come home and he's about to drop, right? And I guarantee you everybody gonna be on it because he beat the trial. He had murders on his back, Rico on his back. You understand? He was looking at life too. But the plea deal was 25, right? And he got found not guilty of everything. That's why it pays sometimes to go to trial. It depends on if you feel you got the case. If you feel you got the case and you got the right lawyer, it pays some time to go to trial, man. I'm going to be real. And we see here, hold on, I got something else on here I want to play. I think these one of the family members talking. Hold on. We got the lawyer talking. I want to play one of the family members talking. Matter of fact, this young thug dad talking right here.
Today? No, I haven't spoken to him today.
How is he doing?
He's doing great. He's doing great. Honestly, he's doing great. So he don't have a word. You know, we still fight. We still fighting out as well. It's not over for us.
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
What do you mean it's not over for you guys?
It's not over for us because I got another son and a grandson that was arrested about this case that I'm still fighting for.
You've been an outspoken critic of Fulton County DA's office. In light of today's verdict, I got a message for them?
I still feel the same way about the DA office. It's a piece of shit. So, you know, we got to get those people out of there. All right? If we want to continue to have justice, we got to get them out of there.
I want to say that I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I stood down, 10 toes down, every day, day in, day out. I stood by my son. It was his decision to not take the plea. And I said, whatever you want to do, I want to do. He said, no, I ain't taking the plea. He didn't take it, and we stood down. I prayed. I thank God for all the supporters all over the world, people who were supporting me, texting me, DMing me. I appreciate the love, and the love. All the prayer warriors, I'm thankful. God is good. He did his big one. They used my son rap lyrics against him. How dare they do that? It's a freedom of speech. They just did so much corruptness in this case. And they threw things against the wall and it didn't stick. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I just got so much emotion right now. I'm full. Day in, day out, going to work, having a personal life, coming back down here, sleeping in the courtroom. They having to wake me up, doing this thing over and over and over again repetitiously. Every day. Every day. My son stood up 30 months. My son stood up. And we was victorious. I'm thankful to God that a mother love went beyond the world. And I'm thankful. I never gave up on my son. Never. He said, Mama, I'm not taking it. I'm standing up. And I stood right by him every day. Every day of the week, I stood by my child. And he said, no. And I said, I'm going to stand with you. I'm going to stand with you to the end. And we stood down to the end. You never give up. No matter what's thrown against you, you never give up. Never. And he stood down. And I'm right here every day. Every day I stood up with him. Every night I prayed with him. And I told him, son, this is bigger than you. This is bigger than you. And I'm thankful to the people all over the world that prayed, gave me encouragement. He gave me encouragement. Big Jeff, Miss Sylvia, everybody around me. Taylor, Cole, I got so many people, my family members in Miami, Florida. Everybody that gave me hope and encouragement. India Monte stood every day. He watched them say bad things about him and disgrace him. And I had him and I raised him. They divulged his character. They said bad things about him, but we got the victory. And in life, you never give up. Never. You never give up, no matter how bad it look. God said he'll make your enemy your footstool. I look to the hills where my help come from. I had bad days, I had good days, I had emotional days, but I damn if I was gonna give up. And I'm thankful for everybody that's been around me in my life who encouraged me. I'm emotional beyond words. I am emotional beyond words, beyond measures. A mother love. I never will give up. And I taught him that to give up, never give up. No matter what the judicial system say about him, never get up.
Hey, yo, that mother there had me kind of emotional. You know, I don't know how y'all felt, but I want y'all, please hit that like button for me, man. Yo, that mother had me kind of emotional hearing her talk, especially if you have ever been in that situation. And I'm telling you, I've been in a situation with your life on the line, going to trial for your life. The prosecutors, they lied to destroy your character. And this is no joke. And for this case to be public, everybody sees. You know, my case was public. You feel me? I was in the news, so I know the feeling of going to court with your life on the line. And for his mother to stand behind him, 10 toes, that's still her son, right or wrong. A lot of mothers wouldn't do it. They don't want to be in that public eye, standing behind their son when he's looked at as the outlaw of the whole city. You hear me? A lot of mothers would have checked out like, I don't want to be involved with that because I don't want to be looked at. That's not how I raised you. She stood behind him, even though she knew my son wasn't raised like that. And guess what? The brother came out victory. I want y'all to hit that like button for me too, man. Leave a comment in the chat. Let me know. Should Thug have went all the way to trial? Because as we see, it's only one person that went all the way and was found not guilty of everything. That was the boy Yak. So you know he's going to make a song ASAP this week because he don't have no stipulations like Young Thug. Young Thug got all kinds of stipulations where he can't say certain things in his rap. He can't throw up certain signs. He can't say slat. All those things that had the people buzzing, he can't say those things no more, right? So we already know that the bull ray come with heat. He can say whatever, and they can't do nothing to him because they tried to use the lyrics against him in the trial, right? And it didn't go well for him. Like the mom said, they threw all kinds of things at the wall, and that's what the prosecutors do. They throw all kinds of things at the wall and see what will stick. See what they can make the jury believe. And I want to say this to y'all, on both sides, it's who can influence the jury. We got to be real. If y'all don't understand that process, right? It's who can influence the jury the best. And that's the game of that thing. And obviously the defense was winning. And I remember it was the other month, right? The judge said that she felt that the prosecution felt like they was winning. But the world over here watching, us, all of us, we watching, we knew that the prosecution wasn't winning. We seen it. You know, things can happen. It might have been a glitch where it could have went the prosecution's way. But we watching the case on the outside, we knew the prosecution didn't have it. We all seen that. Prosecution was real sloppy. But they had Judge Glanville on their side from the jump. So by them having Judge Glanville on their side, it made it look good because everything that they was pressing and trying to push out the way, Judge Glanville was like, no. It was only one thing at the beginning when Thug put that motion in from the fruit of the poisonous tree about things being put into evidence that should have been put out, and Glanville dismissed it. That was the only thing we seen with strength that Judge Glanville said, I'm going to throw this out. Most of the other things, he was like, no, I'm going to let it through. I'm going to let it through. But the Judge Whitaker, she kept it a bean and was fair. She let them know both sides. She broke down when they both were wrong. And that's how it should be. The judge should be the referee, not on somebody's side. And let's be real with that, man. And we seen with Glanville, he was on the prosecution side, man. He really made the court look bad in Atlanta. That's where it started at with Judge Glanville. It started looking bad when we started watching that. And then now everything's exposed. But Judge Whitaker kind of leveled this situation out and made it look better by showing that judges can be fair, because she was fair. And I'm sure she was probably kind of fair because she does have a relationship with the defense attorneys. You understand that though? So sometimes those things can work in your favor. For real. I mean, I want y'all to let me know though. Should Thug have not taken the plea? Because these dudes didn't take the plea, and I think they came out better than Thug. The only two dudes that didn't take the plea, they came out better than Thug. And that's just my personal opinion. Y'all might look at it different, but this is my personal opinion that Thug should have just kept rocking, man. He done paid this lawyer millions and millions of dollars. You should have kept rocking, bro. You know? And in this situation, I would have kept going. Especially if I felt I had a win. But Thug said he was tired of sitting in jail. You don't get tired of sitting in jail and just cop out, man. I'm going to tell you that and be real with you. You don't just cop out just because you're tired of sitting in jail. It's a lot of brothers that have been sitting in jail and they're like, man, I'm going to just take the plea to go home. And then when they go home, they do something to violate quick. And now they sitting back in jail. Sick. Said I should have just fought. Especially if Young Thug violates this probation, right? And Yak Gotti beat everything. And they give Young Thug 15, 20 years for something. He gonna be reflecting saying, man, I should have not took that damn plea. Because I had a chance to win, man. I want y'all to pay attention to that, man. Yeah. Listen, everybody talk that take it to trial. And Young Thug got a song saying take it to trial. Everybody talk that gangster take it to trial, especially when your life on the line. People don't really want to go to trial, man. You know, people don't really want to go to trial, man. That show you if you really about what you out there doing. If you in the street, if you really about that life, you going to trial. But a lot of these dudes is out there playing, man. I say stay away from the streets. It's a destruction. And we got to be real, man. We got to be real, man. I definitely give a shout out to the judge, man. It's some foul judges out there. I am not going to lie. It is some foul judges out there, man. But this judge here, she was just a total referee, man. That's it. She refereed the situation. She called the referee shots like a referee should call them. And listen, when the prosecution was wrong, she stood on it. When the defense was wrong, she stood on it. And that's how it should be. All that favoritism because the state is the with the prosecution, that stuff is BS, man. We got to be real, man. That ain't fair to nobody. For nobody to have a proceeding where they are on the prosecution side and not just being a referee, man. Let's be real with that one. Everybody deserves a fair due process, no matter if you feel they're guilty or not. They deserve a fair due process, man. And a lot of these judicial proceedings, you don't get a fair process because the prosecutor and the judge are linked in. So, of course, they go to lunch together. They go to dinner together. They have coffee, tea together. So why wouldn't they side with each other? They know each other. But when you get that fair judge, you got to respect it, man. And that's big facts, man. You get a fair judge, you got to respect that hands down, man. And y'all still ain't let me know if Thug shouldn't have took that plea or not, though. That's what I want to know. Should he have not took that plea? Where y'all at, chat? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Let me know, man. Let me see. Hold on. This was the lawyer yesterday talking about the client getting stabbed in jail. See, the jury seen that the man got stabbed up on Saturday, whatever day this past weekend. The jury seen that this man got stabbed. The jury seen it. And you know what they said? Hold up. We don't even see no evidence on this guy. And the jails is out of control. Like the Fulton County jails. I did a video on that other day. The Fulton County jails is totally out of control. This man is on trial. And it's a major trial that's being televised across the entire country. And the jail allowed him to get stabbed the weekend while his jury is out deciding the case? Come on, man. And I already know if I was him, right, I would sue. I would literally sue that jail because I'm in trial. Y'all know I'm a high-profile inmate. This is a high-profile case. It's being televised across the entire country and even out the country, right? And y'all allow me to get stabbed under y'all watch? Of course, I would sue ASAP. That would be the first mission when I get out. Y'all held me in here for 2 years, right? And they got paid now. Them jails get paid for inmates. So y'all got paid for me being in here for 2 years. Y'all didn't protect me. Y'all didn't monitor me. And I got stabbed while the jury is out trying to reach a verdict on my case. Come on, man. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. Let's see what Yak Gotti's lawyer said yesterday. We're going to check out what the lawyer said yesterday when he broke news to the media about his client getting stabbed. Pay attention, man.
In his head. But, you know, it's a shame that anyone that's held in our jails have to go through that. But he's doing fine.
What do you know about the circumstances surrounding that?
Not a whole lot. He just got into it, I think, with somebody else that was in the jail. I don't know what the issue was about. I don't know who started it. I don't know the condition of the other individual or individuals. So, yeah, not very useful right now.
When you ask a question, can you look about right here?
Over here?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
the
just
profile.
close
Sure.
When you got the call last night, what was your thoughts? I mean, were you concerned? I mean, consider you guys are waiting for a verdict after a year-long trial.
You know, it's very frustrating him being locked up for this long and nearing the end, and then we have an incident like this. And of course, I recalled Shannon's incident from a year ago, and the big issue is that I can't get a lot of information when that's going on. So there's a lot of uncertainty there. I don't know his health. I don't know where he's being taken to. I can't get answers from the sheriff's department. So, you know, the unknown is always concerning. And so that's kind of the situation that we're in. And I'm thinking here we are at the end of the race, and now this comes up.
You said, sorry, can you be a little more descriptive? You guys like staples on his forehead?
No, he has staples like around here in his head, or where his staples are at.
Who's cut pretty?
I mean, I'm not a medical doctor, and that kind of thing makes me a little queasy, so I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But when I glanced over, he seemed to have 4 or 5 staples in his scalp right around here.
He's here today. He's in court. He's recovering. Talk a little bit about, the fact that at least he is able to be here today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled that it didn't disrupt. First of all, of course, I'm very happy that he's not injured beyond that. But also, I'm thrilled that he's here. We can keep going forward. It doesn't pause things. The jury is clearly on a roll. They're deliberating. They're asking questions, insightful questions. So they're considering the evidence, which is exactly what I want. And he is more calm than I am. So he's taking this very well. He's not nearly as anxious as I am right now.
I was just going to say, how much has all of this just been weighing on you over the long weekend, not being in court after having the jury deliberate?
I have tried to distract myself as much as I can, and that's a challenge because I can't take it completely out of my mind. This has been going on for 2.5 years. We've been in trial for 2 years. I've invested a huge amount of time into this, and so waiting on the verdict is very, very, I don't even know how to describe this feeling. It's very stressful.
Minding attorney-client privilege, what did he tell you today about how he's feeling after that incident? Is he concerned about being in the jail?
Look, he's been in jail 2.5 years now. He's used to being in there. He knows what it's like. No one is comfortable in jail. He, just as much as like Rudy would do anything to stay in a jail, I mean, Mr. Kendrick, Diamante does not want to be in jail. And this incident does not make things any better. But he's there. He knows that, or at least he hopes and is confident that he's going to be out soon. So he'll deal with it for a few more days until finally we'll get him out.
Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to add? Anything we didn't ask you that you wanted to mention?
In January, building? Was it a knife?
You know, I think it was some type of an improvised shank of some kind, but we didn't get into that a whole lot. Really, I guess what's most interesting about it is his focus is not on that incident at all. His focus is on this jury verdict, listening to the questions, seeing what they are. Like this morning's questions really had nothing to do with Mr. Kendrick, but we still were kind of looking at it just to see where the jury's head was at. He and I are both, when those questions come up and when the jury is watching the video, he and I are watching the jury more than we're watching the video because we want to see their response, how they're reacting to what they're seeing. So again, our focus is on this jury and on this verdict, and that's what's going to remain. This is a distraction, and he's not really thinking about it that much right now.
Maybe questions have nothing to do with your client. However, they're focusing on this. I know that was a big part of closing this. How do you feel about that?
Well, and I'm not blaming this on the jury. The state made lyrics part of the issue in this case, and I guess a big part of me was disappointed that they wanted to hear those lyrics, because my position has always been that those lyrics have nothing to do with this case. They should never been brought in. We need to get Congress to pass the RAP Act so that there's a higher standard for bringing in that evidence. Georgia really needs to introduce its own version of the RAP Act if Congress is not going to act. And so I guess the jury wanting to hear the lyrics, I don't even think it should have been put in front of them, but it having been put in front of them, I can understand them wanting to listen to it. Thank you for that question.
Hey, man, they should have a rap act. You know, everything you say shouldn't be used, especially if you're using my lyrics. You know, some of the things that are adding up to what people are saying, that's a different story, you know. But being honest, everything shouldn't be used with your raps in court, man. And his lawyer did a good job, man. I ain't gonna lie. His lawyer did a good job, and the jury felt it. They found the man not guilty. And, you know, I want y'all to hit that like button. Share this video. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that watches the channel. Yeah. So, they're going to have some more guys on trial, and the trial is going to be starting shortly. And I think Young Thug should have never took the plea, man. Let me see here. Camilla Allen. Jeffrey did the right thing. He is bigger than what he knew. He even said how the judge has played a key role in his life. It's hard to say goodbye to yesterday, but the judge did it for him. Okay, so you say you feel that he should have took the plea, and it might have been best for him to take that plea. Honestly, it might have been best for him. But me, I wouldn't have took the plea. I would have took it all the way, because if I felt that they did wrong and violated my constitutional rights, you can't take that back. That's grounds for you to go all the way. When your constitutional rights is violated, you go to war. But I respect what you're saying, Kamala Allen Bennett. I respect it, and I appreciate your comment. Yeah. Does anybody else think Thug should have took that plea, or you think that he shouldn't have took that plea? Let me know. And leave a comment how you feel about it. Because these guys right here went all the way with it. And the only person that was found not guilty was Yak Gotti. The only person. And like he said, his mom said, I stood behind my baby the whole way. They got family in Miami and other places, and they said they were saying, tell him to fight. Go with it. And he told his mom, I'm going all the way. I know the feeling. I done had lawyers saying, take this plea to 2025. Hold up. I'm not taking no plea to 2025. I'm going all the way. And then when you go all the way, The lawyer's on your side like, yeah, you did the right thing. Yeah, I know. It's my life. I'm not taking no 25-year deal. You crazy? Yeah. Now, should those other guys have took a plea? Now, we see they got found not guilty. If you were in those other guys' shoes, would you have took the plea and said, man, I'm going to take the plea? This 25 now. Hey, Rich Rolf, I'm agreeing with you, Rich. I'm with you, Rich. He should have kept fighting, bro. Don't get scared now. When you rapping that stuff and you talking about that life, you ain't scared. Don't get scared. Keep fighting. That's my opinion. You know, if y'all haven't already hit that subscribe button, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Share this video too. Because if I was Thug, I would have kept rumbling, man. When you see you got that loophole and your constitutional rights is violated, they can't fix that. They can try to go around it and act like they didn't violate your rights. But once your constitutional rights is violated, they can't take that back, man. And you know, they don't try to uphold the Constitution unless you enforce it. So you got to make sure that you let them know that you understand your constitutional rights. And your lawyer's job is to make sure that the prosecution understands that you know your constitutional rights. But sometimes, and we have to be honest, these lawyers be on the side of the prosecution. Angie, let me see what you said. Thug did the right thing at the time for him. It's easy to sit home and say woulda, shoulda, coulda. Say so happy about the verdict today. I cried like a baby. Hey, listen, I'm happy for him too. But you know, Angie, I want to say for me, because you don't know me, I've been to trial. I've been to trial 5 times, Angie, and I had a plea deal of 25 years. Manslaughter. They tried to give me a plea to manslaughter, Angie. I didn't take it. I went to trial. So me sitting home talking about it now, I've already experienced it. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. So I would have went all the way because I've done it. So that's why I say it. You know, constitutional rights meant nothing to that prosecution team. And you are right. The constitutional rights meant nothing, but you got to stand on that. Even if you got to sit there for a second, you got to stand on that, especially when you out running the streets. You know, you can't act like you scared now when you was out there saying, I'm going to take it to trial regardless. So you got to go ahead and go to trial. You said, if I was in the other guy's shoes, nope, I would have not taken the plea deal. And listen, I agree, Carmella. I agree. There's no way I would have took a plea to 25 years. Are you crazy? You think I'm a sign up for 25? Come on, especially when you see a case like that. You see a case like that, you don't sign up to no 25. I agree with you on that. And, you know, I understand the people that say Thug should have took the deal. I understand y'all saying that, right? But when you start seeing and your lawyers is telling you you got this, especially with Brian Steele, because Brian Steele said he didn't want Thug to take the plea. Let's be real. Brian Steele said, I didn't want Young Thug to take the plea. I wanted my client to keep fighting, but it's ultimately his decision. Thug wanted to go home. And that happens to a lot of guys that are in the justice system fighting the case. They might know they got the case beat, but the state is drawing out the case so long, they just want to go home. So they end up taking the plea to probation. And guess what happens? They get out and violate. Let's be real. They get out there and do something wrong and violate. Thug has 15 years probation. He can't even throw no gang signs. He can't talk that slat stuff. He can't talk anything that had grasped the people towards that gang life. He got to switch up his whole flow. So is he going to be able to do that? And we all know 3 technical violations will give you all that time back. 3 of them. 3 technical violations will give you everything. You can't play with them people, man. So I'm hoping Thug already has in his mind not to play with them people, man. You know? Yeah, don't play with them people because they're not playing with you. Real rap. And The other guys, they was cooperating on other situations and they still took this to trial. That surprised me because they told about other matters, but they still took this to trial. And the guy Yak, when he come out and make some music, people gonna be all over it because he's the only one that was found not guilty. The only one. Everybody else took a plea. Okay, Angie, you said personally, I would never plead to anything I didn't do, but I understand people do. That trial was so hard to watch. Yes, and that is how I feel too. I would never plead to anything that I didn't do. And there is a lot of people across the world that do because they want to go home. So yeah, they plead to things and say, all right, I'm going to take the plea because I'm going to go home to my family. And then get out there and really forget about their family and start doing street stuff or whatever and then go back to jail. So you got to have that mentality to be right if you take those kind of pleas. You can't have the mentality like, man, I'm going to do whatever. I can be slick still and take a plea like that. Honestly. And that's my opinion, you know. And we watched this trial for a whole year. And we seen all the flaws from the prosecution. Judge Glanville embarrassed the Atlanta judicial system. And I'm going to be real. Judge Glanville embarrassed. I'm stubborn. Me too. Well, I agree. Angie, me too. Yeah, I'm stubborn too. I ain't just going for anything. I gotta agree mentally to go there. And when it comes to the judicial system, I already know they corrupt. So when they start talking about pleading, my antennas go up. You know? And like I said before, I had a situation where they came to me with a 4-year plea deal from an attorney, right? Fired the attorney, got a public defender because the attorney was trying to line me up. The public defender came and said, take this probation. I said, negative. I'm a rock by myself. They threw the whole case out. And that's how I know that it's a game up in that system. But you can't get in there playing like you don't know what you're doing and allow these people to do what they want to you. Now, I do say that. It's a heavy game out there. And they playing for keeps. And you got to know, they can mess up a whole bunch of times. You only got one time to mess up. That's their game, though. I hope y'all pay attention to that. Yeah. So in that situation, like I say, Fulton County may have had some of them guys take them pleas because them dudes getting stabbed up in there like that. Fulton County is a joke. Definitely. And I did a story the other day on Fulton County. I showed all the horrendous, crazy things that go on in jail. I even showed the stabbings. They had the stabbings on video. It was one guy, they had him in a corner. It was like 7 guys on him, and they're all just stabbing him with shanks in his back, in his neck, all around. And they got this on video. And these dudes still get knives like that. So in that situation, that's why some of them dudes took the plea. Because they were already looked at as rats and dudes in there trying to stab them. They like, man, I'm going to go ahead and plea and go home. You know? And some of the dudes it might work out for and some of them it might not. But time will tell. These dudes just took them pleas though. So we don't know if it's really going to work out for them. Honestly. Fulton County is definitely messed up. The inmates and the COs, they working together. I guess the COs are cool with certain inmates that run to certain gangs, and maybe they're scared of them because they got to see these people on the street. So, but they got total control over the COs in Fulton County, and we all got to be real with that. The inmates have control over the COs in Fulton County. Straight up. I think they're scared of them because the way that they're bringing stuff in for the inmates, they even said they got drones. You hear me? They got drones flying over the prison. I've never heard of this until the other day. They have drones and they know this. The prison know this. The Department of Justice knows this. They have drones flying over the prison dropping off drugs. Come on, man. Now, if that's not crazy, what is? Sheesh. But you know, I would have never took the plea. You know, like, especially when they come to you with a probation plea. When they come to you with a probation, and I'm telling you, they didn't even give Thug a plea the whole case. They said, we're going to get life out of him. They already had in their mind, we're going to take all of his assets and we're going to get life out of him. They had that in their mind already. You hear me? This is what their mind said. We're going to get life out of Thug. And we're not going to give him no plea. And then the last month of trial, y'all come with probation. I need y'all to understand they came with probation because they knew they were losing the case. I want y'all to understand that now. That's the only reason they came with probation. They would have never came with no probation if they knew they wasn't losing. They knew that they already violated all of his constitutional rights. They knew that. So they knew the case was going to get spanked, right? Even if the jury came back and said he was guilty on some things, he would have beat it on an appeal because they violated a lot of things, right? So yes, Thug should have rocked out, but he wanted to go home. And that happens to a lot of these jokers in that situation. They want to go home so bad, they just take the plea. You said, I saw that. They have drones. Yeah. And they locked up the person that was supplying the drones to the inmates and the COs. Whoever this guy was, he was a white guy, and he's been making drones. I think he said it was Thunder Drones. That was the name of the thing, Thunder Drones. He's been making drones for like 20, 30 years, right? And he had a connection with some gang members, they said, allegedly. And they had him on phone calls, calling the business and his cell phone. And he had some connection with some COs, right? So they got him on phone calls, contacting these people, setting up deliveries to get the drones. And I'm sure they probably talked about some things where it linked to them doing some illegal activities and doing whatever, because they wanted to make sure probably the drones could do certain things, right? So they got all these things on conversation. Do y'all know this guy is locked up? And the feds, I think the feds got him for these drones, supplying it to gang members. And I think they said he's facing 20 years. So it got out of control with these drones. I ain't even gonna lie. And the COs, they're like really locked in with the inmates. I guess certain inmates come in, they probably ask them what gang you're a part of, and it's probably certain gangs that run that jail. So the COs is scared of the inmates. For real, for real. Hey, listen, I think he feel not dumb, but I think he feel dumb. But this is what Dominican Karina. Do you think he should have took the plea though? You ain't say that. Do you think the should have took the plea or not? But I'm sure he's saying he wish he didn't, especially when Yak is the only one that beat it. I know Thug is sick right now. I ain't even gonna lie. He like, man, I could have spanked this joint. That's what he's saying. But now if they would have got found guilty of everything, he would have been like, whew, I got away. You know what I'm saying? It goes like that. You know, it's a coin toss. But if you know you got a loophole, a technicality, a situation where you can beat the situation, you go all the way, man. You don't cop out. You know what I'm saying? You don't cop out. You go all the way. And that's what Thug should have did, in my opinion. My opinion, he should have went all the way because he had him. Brian Steele was killing it. His attorney got arrested because he didn't reveal where he got the source of the information of them having an ex parte meeting. I know y'all remember that. I don't think he should have took the plea. Okay, there you go. And now I agree with you. I don't think he should have took the plea at all. Yeah, but y'all remember that ex parte meeting that the prosecution had? Thug's lawyer was ready to go sit in the cell. He told them, put me in the cell with my client so we can do the case. I want to research. If you're going to lock me up, right, can you just put me in the cell with my client so that we can do this case and we don't mess up this case? Come on. That's how you know you got a lawyer that got your back. You hear me? The lawyer telling the whole prosecution, put me in the cell. Put me in the cell with him so that I can do the research with him. That's how you know you got the real deal. You know? But in this situation, you know, Thug, I guess, did what he felt was best for him to get back to his family. But I am really, 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 really hoping that he gets out there and acts right. I hope Thug don't get out here and act like he forgot about those 2 years, man. And think that he can play with them people. Because y'all seen the tweet that he put up last week or 2 weeks ago. Put a tweet up talking about he not cool with Gunner. You keep acting like we cool on the internet. See, those things right there can put you back in that mentality. It's some things you got to let go. And if Thug has not came to the agreement with himself to let some of them things in the past go, y'all already know what's going to happen. And we got to be honest. You have to let go. He done took this plea now. His whole life has to be on a different channel. All that ready to get busy and that ops and you ready to go to war, you better leave that in the past. It's a time and a place that you have to let things go. In certain situations, you got to know when it's over. Yeah, the street life is done for Thug, as I would say. If he play with them people, they're going to rock his socks. And y'all know it. Let's be honest. If Thug get out there and play with them people, they're going to rock his socks. And the thing about Yak, they can't charge him with none of that stuff again. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? If they get out there playing, they're going to rock his socks. But Yak, it's done for him. It's done for him, man. The YSL trial, that's the first part of the trial is over. Yeah. The first part of the trial is over. You said, I don't think Jeffrey's mind was strong enough to not be nice, as he puts it, to his childhood friends. I really think that his mind, me personally, and I respect your opinion, right? I think his mind was strong enough, but he was just using them dudes to do his dirty work. This is my opinion. He was using those dudes because they was flunkies, and we got to be real. They wanted to be a part of YSL. They looking for rap careers. And these two, Shannon was a rapper too, and Yak was a rapper. These dudes was willing to bust a strap for Thug. That's the thing. They were willing to bust the strap. So I really think they were flunkies. They were trying to do whatever to be in that position. So I think Thug had them around for that. And when them dudes started telling as if Thug knew they was telling, he cut them off. Because they've been cut off a while before, I guess, the case. Or I think he might have still had a little communication, but it was at a long handle spoon. He wasn't dealing with them the same because he already knew everybody was hot. So I can say, like, he was using them people. You got to think about it. They was like the muscle to run around. You know, you can be about that life, but you can't put that kind of work in consistently by yourself. You're going to need a team. And that's what Thug had. Thug had a team. And it was a team of a whole bunch of flunkies ready to get busy, but they all were willing to tell. Think about it. Little Woody, he told. The other guy told Mook Took, he kind of told, but then he got on the stand and reversed it. You understand what I'm saying? All the guys that testified, the other founder of YSL. You feel what I'm saying? So they were all like kind of cooperating, but they were willing to go to great lengths for Thug because who he was. And we got to be real. They were willing to bust their gun. They were willing to do all that crazy stuff just because they wanted to be a part of Thug. And you know, that's my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? But that's how I think. I think Thug had a whole bunch of flunkies around him, and they were willing to crash out instantly. It wasn't no limit to when they were going to crash out. So that's how I feel with that situation. And I just think now that Thug has experienced this, he's not going to have that problem no more. But he got to worry about the probation. And then he has to worry about the other celebrities bringing that BS to him. You feel me? Because it's celebrities he's going to be around that he can hang around that are not on probation. And you know, these dudes is doing slick stuff because they got the bag. So Thug got to pay attention. You said, now I got you looking at everything different. Right, though. I'm keeping it a bean with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you checking that out from a different eye. You know? Because Thug had all the flunkies around him, man. These dudes was just doing whatever for Thug. Whatever Thug said, they did it. And that's what Little Woody was talking about in his interrogation tapes. If y'all paid attention to the interrogation, Little Woody was saying, man, Thug just be making these dudes whatever, and he don't making them do whatever, and he don't give them no money. You know what I'm saying? So he had them on crash dummy missions, and he wasn't even paying them. You hear me? Woody said, that's why I stopped going around like that, because I'm not getting no money. I'm doing all these crash courses, but I'm not getting paid for it. You feel me? So that's what made Woody flip on Thug from the door. He tried to take it back later, but that's what made him flip on Thug when he seen that Thug wasn't giving him no money. Thug was letting Woody and them dudes hold his money. Yo, make sure you give me that back. You can stunt with my joint, but get that back. You feel me? So it made it look like these dudes was getting money, but they wasn't getting no money. So you got to understand that if it's one person around you getting all the money and you got all your minions around you and they ain't getting no money, of course they going to tell. Like, we all got to be real about that. We should have knew when they told us the situations of these situations that these dudes was going to tell. Because this dude, Thug, had all these little minions around him, right? And they was doing some dumb stuff for no money. So what do you think is going to happen when they get locked up? And then Thug is telling them, yo, I'm going to pay for your lawyer, but then not showing up. So what you think was going to happen? Of course they was going to line Thug up. And Woody tried to take all that stuff back. We going to be real. He tried to take all of it back. But he already told. The interrogation tapes were out to the world. So it was like he couldn't take it back because the whole entire world seen Woody telling on Thug. But he took it back to a sense, right? Whereas though the jury was like, this guy's unbelievable because he said, I lied. But he told some truth in there with some lies, man. And this is why I say you got to watch who you have around you. And if you have people around you, you can't be making them feel like they peons. They could be peons. They could be little peons. But you can't make people around you feel like that. Because when you start making them feel like peon, they start envying you. And this is what happened with Thug. All the people around Thug started envying him because he started having these dudes do all the dirty work. They weren't getting no money, and Thug was the only one that was rich. Y'all understand that, right? Thug had all these dudes around him doing all the dirty work, but he was the only one that was rich. So you got to understand, they're going to flip on you. And that's what I say about these dudes that do the murder for hire. When you do murder for hire, why would somebody go out here and kill somebody for you, go to jail for life, and allow you to enjoy your whole life while they in struggle in jail? They're going to bring you in there with them. Like, you know, it's a street code not to do it, right? But that street code don't hold up when somebody's sitting in jail with their life on the line and they can't get out. That stuff go out the window. And we got to be real. You know? He said, where you have been for the past 12 months, I definitely about to subscribe. Hey, listen, I appreciate you subscribing. I really appreciate it. Anybody that hasn't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Your boy got all 25. You know, I've got my life correct. I live life right, so I'm able to do this now. You know what I'm saying? One point in my life, I wasn't living right. I ain't gonna lie, right? I live right now, so I'm gonna be here now. I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I live right. I do right. I'm a positive guy. And, you know, I'm here. So If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. My experiences are far, 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 far long. You feel me? I'm going to tell my story, how I went to trial for murder, and the prosecutors knew I didn't commit the murder, but they took me to trial for it. So, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody subscribes, and I want y'all to hit that like button for me. I really appreciate it if y'all hit that like button for me, because we are growing. You feel me? We on our way to 4K subscribers, and we grinding. We here now every day, and I appreciate y'all. Yeah. But in that situation, man, Woody was telling because Thug wasn't looking out for him. Think about that. And he was still going back and hanging around Thug after talking to the police because Thug wasn't looking out for him. You can't have a whole bunch of minions around you and you the only one eating, and you keep letting them borrow your stuff and make them feel like they're doing something while they're with you. And then when they go away from you, they got to go around everybody else broke. What you think is going to happen? When the police pick them up, they broke. What you think going to happen? They're going to cooperate. They're going to talk because the police want to know about you. So we got to be real. When the police want to know about you and you got all these minions around you running around doing all the BS and they ain't got no money, they go pick the minions up and say, listen, you're going to jail. Woody like, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. And what'd he do? He starts telling on his friends. Even other people he was telling on. These dudes do this. This is what they do. You can't have a whole bunch of people around you, period. And if you do, you need to be feeding those people. And you have to expect when you stop feeding them, they're going to flip on you. It happens to all the entertainers. You see everybody, when they get up, and they cut the people off that they've been feeding that work for them, they start telling all their business, man. This is the game, man. So it's the same way on the street level when these dudes is running around the streets and these hustlers is out there hustling, doing their thing, and they are the top hustler of the hood, but everybody they hitting can't figure out how to keep their pack right. Of course, the people that keep messing up the pack are going to tell. It's the game. I said this before the verdict. Okay, all walk them down. What's going on, bro? I said this before the verdict. They beat it. And they did. Yes, sir. They rocked it. And we was watching the case, and bro, you was tapped in on me with a few times by when me putting the trial up there. It was messed up. The trial was rocky. It was a lot of loopholes in the situation. And this is why I felt Thug should have kept rocking. It was a lot of loopholes in the case. And then in a sense, I said, if Thug knew he was guilty and he knew he did some of these murders, I feel he should have took the plea. If he feel he put any hits out on anybody, yeah, he should have took the plea. But if he didn't put the hits out, I would have took it all away. Now that's like a personal decision that you got to make, man. Bro, he should have kept fighting, bro. I'll walk him down. LL. He should have kept fighting, bro. Real rap, man. He should have kept fighting because now only one person beat the case. And he gonna talk heavy. And he a rapper too. So you already know he another 6'9". And he might get a big buzz behind this. I think he is. I ain't gonna lie, because the whole country's watching the case and the whole country's gonna want to hear him, what he has to say. And he was the only one found not guilty. You said Thug should have trusted in his lawyer. Correct. And his lawyer, Brian, still said it. I wanted my client to continue to fight, but it's ultimately his decision. And he did get tired, but you can't get tired. When you out in them streets, running them streets, you don't get tired. When you out there running and you out there doing whatever you doing in them streets, you don't get tired. You keep running. And when you tired, you still run. So when you in jail, right, you can't get tired. Under the circumstances, you got to sit and fight. And a lot of people, they get to taking them plea deals while they're in jail, right? Because they want to go home and get right out there and violate. You see what happened to Young Thug's brother. He took the plea deal, jumped on the first train smoking now, and said YSL was a criminal enterprise, all that, and got right out there and got caught with a gun and got a 9-ball. This is the stuff I'm talking about. You feel me? I understand he was ready to see his kids, but these things you got to stand tall for. Because think about this. If he's ready to see his kids, right, and then he get back out there, and he's out there for 6 to 9 months, and they violate it, and he get a 15-ball, he going to be kicking himself in the butt. You got to understand, he got a 40-piece over his head, right? 40 years. So they can rock his socks anywhere around that level. If he violate crazy. 3 technicals, he can get it all back. 3 technicals now, he can get it all back, man. And my opinion, he should have kept fighting. No matter if you ready to go home or not, you got to keep rocking. When you sign up for that life, you got to rock. You know? Especially if they're gunning for you. In that situation, they was gunning for Thug. They didn't want nobody really but Thug, Shannon Stillwell, and Yak. That's the people they wanted because Shannon and Yak, they were allegedly charged with the murders in the RICO. Thug, they were saying he had to hire. He was the hirer. He was telling them to do the hits, right? So, and the thing is that I say though, right? The mom in the back, she sat there in the trial. Nuts mom, she sat in the back of the trial for a whole year and nobody got found guilty of her son's murder. Did y'all see that? The judge wouldn't even allow her to speak because she tried to speak at Young Thug's sentencing. She sat in the trial for a whole year and nobody was found guilty of her son's murder. This is what happens, though. I think Thug made the best decision, and it helped the rest. The jury knew that King Slime was home. Naisha. That was a good one, Naisha. Think about it that way. So Thug took the sacrifice. Well, all the pimping he was doing to them jokers, right? Because he pimped them jokers for years. All that work they was putting in, that was from Thug pimping them, right? So all that pimping Thug did, he gave something back. Let's look at it like that, Naisha. All that pimping he did, he gave something back. That's what he did. He gave something back to the people of the guys that he said he was very nice to. I'm going to take this plea, but he did it for himself. Now, let's be real. He did it for himself. But he gave something back because the jury is looking at it like, yeah, the main guy is out of here. And these guys, y'all didn't prove anything that they did the murders. And they said Shannon Stillwell got convicted of the firearm that he got locked up, that he got picked up with when they came and grabbed it. So all the charges pertaining to the case, Shannon beat. But he got locked up with a gun the day they came and grabbed him. When the people came and grabbed everybody, that day Shannon had a gun. They charged him with the gun. That's what he got found guilty of. And it was a gun that his baby mom had bought that was legal, but I guess he had it in his possession. And that turns that legal stuff into illegal ASAP. You know what I'm saying? It makes it illegal ASAP. And if y'all haven't already hit that subscribe button for me, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button and share this video, man. I really appreciate everybody that watches the channel, man. He didn't get scared, in my opinion. He had the most to lose with all them guns and drugs in his house. Trash Matrix 101 Inc. That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one because they did find the silencers and the switch and the guns in his house. So, yeah, it might have been a good decision for him in that sense, but it would have been a legal search and seizure too if his lawyer would have fought that, because I guess those wasn't connected to the case and he got some of that stuff thrown out in the suppression hearing. So I would have fought. I ain't gonna lie. I would have fought. But it might have been the best decision for him, being as though he has so much weighing over his head, and him taking the deal, getting the probation. Like Nisha said, it could have helped the co-defendants. You feel me? Same thing happened with Ray Lewis. He pled out, and his two friends beat all the charges. See? Listen, there's a lot of dudes that do that. Plead out, and do. But I think Ray Lewis told too, didn't he? Tell me that. I think Ray Lewis told, man. I don't know. Let me know. I think Ray Lewis did tell. I think he did tell. I don't know. Yes, it's them dudes that cooperate too. So if he cooperated, I don't know. Thug ain't cooperate. Thug went all the way, and he got to the end, and I think he got scared. I'm like, hold up. Because his lawyer said, man, let's keep fighting. His lawyer's seen it. And the lawyer has a personal relationship with the judge. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I'm not mistaken now, I want to say this. I don't know if I'm mistaken or not, right? But they said that his lawyer donated to the judge when she got elected to be the judge. Now, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but this is what I heard. So I think that his lawyer had a personal relationship with the judge. That's why she was so fair. You feel me? And Glanville, he had no love for that side. He had love for the prosecution. And I'm going to be real. I think he had love for him because he had a personal relationship with them. He had a personal relationship with the prosecution, those two black ladies, Miss Love and Miss Hilton. He had a personal relationship with them. I'm sure they probably went out to lunch a couple times. They probably hung out, which judges and lawyers do. And he just had a personal relationship with them instead of defense. And when they got the new judge, she had a personal relationship with the defense instead of the prosecution. So I think that switch really, really worked out for him. He did tell and ended up pleading out to something. Yeah. And that's what I thought. He told and pleaded out, and the other guys beat it. Yeah, it's crazy. So Ray Lewis' situation was a little different, but personal relationship determines a lot of cases. It's not just the evidence. And you are right about that, because you're guilty by association. And we all know that. They will find you guilty by association quick. Real quick. Somebody else doing something, hanging around you. If you in the car with them, boom. That's your friend. You do the same thing. And they do things like that. But in this situation, I think Thug should have just kept rocking. This is my opinion. I think Thug should have kept rocking because he had him. He had him. I would have kept going, me personally. And I've done it in my past. I've had lawyers come to me and say, take this plea deal to probation. And I had some take this time in jail. And every time I told them no, I beat the charge. I'm not going to lie. Every time. I'm 5-0. You know what I'm saying? Every time. I'm a changed man to this day, though. Trust me. I ain't going back to no street life. I'm not doing nothing involved with the street. I keep street people away from me. It's all love. I love everybody, all love. But I'm not going to be guilty of anything by association. And I understand that. And when you go through certain situations like Thug going through this situation, I really, really, really hope he learns. Even these other guys going through this situation. It has to be a time where you have to learn to do something different. Obviously, whatever you was doing before isn't working. So it's time to make a change. And this is a big out for a lot of these jokers, man. This was a big case. The longest trial history in Atlanta. In history now. And all them dudes came off. Even the ones that told, they came off too. But if the dudes that would have told would have held up, it wouldn't have been no case. The state prosecution felt like they had a case in this case only because all the people around them were cooperating. Y'all know that, right? That's the only reason they felt like they had a case, because everybody around was cooperating. They would have never had a case if they didn't have all these people that were hanging around Thug cooperating. I'm going to be real. Brian still told him, take it all the way. But then again, there would have been more evidence that came out. They had more evidence on Slime. He just got the deal earlier. Ooh, that was good, because they did stop testimony from certain witnesses after Thug took the plea. So, man, but they already violated his constitutional rights, in my opinion. They already violated things. You understand what I'm saying? The things, how they were bringing up things in trial that were told not to bring up. They had specific instructions not to produce certain paperwork. And you know what the prosecution did? They produced it anyway. Just because they wanted to taint the jury's mind. And I'm going to be real with that. They knew what they was doing. They wanted to taint the jury's mind in this situation. So they was giving out the paperwork that wasn't redacted. When they had witnesses up there reading from stuff, they was giving out stuff that wasn't redacted when they knew it should have been redacted. So it was a lot of things that they did that they knew they was wrong. And then the things that they did with Judge Glanville was acceptable. But when they started doing it with the Paige Whitaker judge, she didn't accept none of that. She said, didn't I tell you not to do this? Why do y'all keep doing stuff I'm telling y'all not to do? And they was playing dumb like, oh, Judge, I don't know. We didn't do that. The judge wasn't going for it, though. You know? You said, you can tell the case was going on long as when Thug was there. After his plea, the case was over quick. You are right about that. It lasted 30 days. After he took the plea, it lasted 30 days when they said that this trial was going to go into next year. This is what they said now. They like, this trial is going to go into next year. And you know what? It didn't. This trial ended 30 days after he took the plea. That was crazy. He said Thug never did time before this, so for him have to wait for the appeal process would have drained him. Yeah, and I agree on that, but you still got to stand up. That's my take on that. I understand that appeal would have took long, but you still got to stand up. When you out there in them streets and you claiming this image and this lifestyle and you out here doing whatever you doing, you got to stand up in it. Don't get out there and get weak. Now, that's what you stood on. Carmelo, you said, I'm sure SB going to change some things in his life. He married Kayla Bumpus, and she's practicing in Houston. Yeah, I'm sure he better change some things in his life, because they said one of his baby moms and I think his friend, they was in the car and the people was shooting at him. They killed one of them. The car flipped and crushed his baby mom's leg off. Like, hold up. One person died, and then his baby mom's leg got crushed off behind that. And he better change some things, and he better stay out of Atlanta. These dudes want to go back in the hood to show I can still come in the hood. And what you got to do, you got to defend yourself in the hood. Let's be real. These dudes got to defend themselves in the hood. They still keep going back into the hood. It's only smart to stay away from the hood at this point. So with this situation here, it's like they got a second chance now. And I'm sure that the case that he has open, his lawyer said that he can be home by Christmas, depending on how it goes. So it's like he better pay attention. He better take this as a learning lesson. And it's so crazy that a lot of people don't know how to take these things for a learning lesson. They get out there and do the same thing. For sure, you're right. Because look at Yak Gotti. He beat trial 4 times, 3 state, 1 fed. He different. Yeah. He did beat it. He did go to war. But also these dudes, they was cooperating on the low too, man. And that's the crazy thing. They was playing to both sides of the game, man. They'd get in there and talk to the police, have a conversation, but then want to go out here and bust their gun. Man. But he did go to trial, though. I can't say that. He went to trial on this situation, and we talk about this situation. He went all the way to trial, and he spanked it. Ain't too many people willing to go to trial. You know what I'm saying? Rufio Brandon, he got scared. Motherfuckers make it sound so simple. If you never been locked down looking at time, then you don't know. You would damn near accept any plea deal just to go home. Trial is no joke. Hey, man, I'm glad you commented, Rufio. Now, I said it before, Rufio. I've been to trial 5 times, man. I've been to trial 5 times. I've been to trial for murder. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't do the murder, but I was the only one on trial for it. You know what I'm saying? The state took me to trial for murder that I did not do, and they knew I didn't do it. And you know I went all the way to trial. I sat in jail with no bail, in the hole for 90 days, in a cell by myself, until they allowed me to go on the pod with everybody else and made me sign paperwork and said, do you want to go on the pod with everybody else? Are you scared? I said, no, I want to go out there. I've been in here for 90 days counting the dots on the floor. I'm ready to get up out of here. They let me go on the pod. So, Rufio, I appreciate your comment, brother, but I've been there, and I would have went all the way because I did it. I'm in the law books. I went all the way to trial. So my situation, I can relate and understand because I've been there. I've been to trial 5 times, 5-0. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so I would have took it. But you saying that you feel he should have did it, understandable. You know? Billy Kidman, wow. SB lucky as hell. He beat 2 bodies in the RICO. Yes. We are going to say SB is super, 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 super lucky. Nobody got found guilty of Donovan Thomas's murder, and his mom is upset. That is crazy. But you knew without a doubt they didn't have much on you. Yes, I knew without a doubt, right? But they were trying to make a scenario. And you got to understand this. I had a jury trial. You understand that? So I have to put my trust in these people to get the evidence right. And believe me, they play a dirty game. And I'm about to write a book on that. My book probably going to be coming out in the next month or two about that, how I was charged with murder and they knew I didn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to explain everything on there, the whole case. So I appreciate everybody that subscribe to the channel and tune in. I really appreciate y'all. And make sure y'all hit that like button, you know? Young Thug Soft should have took it to the door. A Lucky Don. Lucky Don. There you go. I'm riding with you on that one, Lucky Don. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm riding with you. Young Thug should have took it all the way to the door. If you talking about, he got a song out saying take it to trial. Y'all know that. Young Thug got a song out saying take it to trial. He was scared to go all the way, man. Real rap, man. You go all the way, man. Yeah. You go all the way. And I feel he should have went all the way. You feel me? I feel he should have went all the way because it's only right. I'm not saying he shouldn't have done any. I'm not saying he should have done anything. It's a tough position to be in. You do what you got to do to get home. And I understand this, Rufio. I understand this. But what I'm saying is when these dudes go and take these kind of plea deals like that and that kind of lengthy probation, they usually get out there and mess up. To rush home to mess up is what people don't pay attention to. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to rush to get home to get yourself in a problem, especially if you got the case spanked. And that's the thing I'm saying. People act like it's so easy just to take a case of trial. Oh, it is. I done it 5 times, Rufio. Oh, it is. I don't play no games, Rufio. I don't play no games. It is. I'm taking everything to trial. Them people can't tell you a time I plead, except if it was a traffic ticket, and I won't even plead the traffic tickets no more. I'm going to war with everything. You understand what I'm saying? That's just my style. He said all the guns was found at his house and he was having health problems. Hey, listen, man. You in the situation, you got to go to war, man. You got to go to war, man. You have to go to war, man. He said, Carmela said, my oldest daughter's dad went to prison for unaliving someone in 2001. He didn't do it, so he took it to trial and lost. all I gotta say is Kamala Harris was DA. Ooh. Well, we know what happened then. We know what happened. Because I don't trust Kamala Harris a bit. We know what happened. And Rufio, what'd you say? Look how crooked the state was, man. It was looking bleak for a minute. We all know the state is crooked, right? But Brian Steele is a well-qualified lawyer, and he knows his stuff. He knows how to hold his composure, and he knows how to hit those key points. But what happened was they had Judge Glanville on the case, and I want to be real honest about that. What happened was they had Judge Glanville, and he was not being fair. So from Judge Glanville not being fair is what made the case look like it was all against Thug. But when they got a judge in there that was fair, you seen the whole tune change. When the state was trying to do things they shouldn't do, they were being checked about it. The prosecution doing, the defense doing things that they shouldn't do, they were being checked about it. Everybody was being checked accordingly when the new judge got on there. But when they had that old judge on there, Judge Glanville, he made himself look the worst because the world got to see what type of person he really was. And we don't know these people, man. We don't know these judges. He was too involved in the case beyond being a referee. That's why it looked like that. A referee is supposed to referee the situation. That's what a judge does. But Glanville was too involved. So it made it look crazy. You said, had this case not touched public eyes, they would have railroaded. Now, Rufio, that's a strong statement you made there. And I totally agree with you, my brother. That is a strong statement you just made. And you couldn't have said that no better. Because if this case was not public, we already know what would have happened. They were going to railroad Thug. And it's a lot of people that is in the system right now that we don't know they're going to court. We don't know nothing about their case. They're being railroaded, man. And I've been in a situation where they were about to railroad me, but I stood tall. They were trying. I'm talking about my lawyer, the prosecutor, and the judge. Everybody wanted to railroad me, but I stood tall and said, man, I'm not going for it. I mean it. And when I stood tall, I spanked it. You feel me? So it's important to stand tall. You said 501 Street Stories Unplugged. Nah, Thug did the right thing. The only reason they found dude and them not guilty was because Thug pled. I mean, we can say that, 504. We can say that. And I would say, to a sense, yeah. But, so Thug sacrificed for them. So you don't think Thug would have got found not guilty? Because honestly, it wasn't no direct of nobody exactly saying Thug did this. It was all trying to connect it. And if anybody did say Thug anything, it all got changed up in the courtroom, and the people that were saying it were proven to be liars. Little Woody. So I feel he should have kept rocking, like real rap. 504, you said, trust and believe you and me had Thug not plead, they would have thrown the book at that boy. Now, that's only if he was found guilty. If he was found guilty, yes, they would have stuck it to him straight up. But not guilty, you can't do nothing to him but let him go. And I would have took it. You feel me? That's just me. I would have took it. I want to go to war. You understand what I'm saying? But it makes it harder for you to go to war when you got a lot of people you associate with. And I'm going to be real with that. When you associate with a lot of people, make it hard for you to go to war. I'm dolo. I'm going to war. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want nobody around me. Because if I got to go to war, I want to go to war. All they did was try to use everybody that Thug was connected to him to make his case. All the people he hung out with, all the people he went to shows with, even the guy he employed to be the security they was using him against him. And this is the game. He said, Juan Rios, the judge would have never gave him 35 years though. And we can't say that. We can't say that. And you're talking about Thug, right? Thug was looking at life. That Rico, the murders. Thug didn't get no plea. You feel me? Thug didn't get no plea at all. They had Thug of just going to court. But they gave him a plea a month before the case ended to probation. That's because they knew they didn't have the case locked. When the judge said a couple months ago, oh, the prosecution is winning this case, she knew that the prosecution was not winning. She knew it. But it was the manipulation game to try to make the prosecution feel like they were doing something. But she knew they wasn't winning. Come on, man. Honestly. He said, public perception beat this case for YSL. And I want to say this. That does mean a lot in today's world. I am not going to lie. That means a lot in today's world. How the public is viewing and pushing you means a lot because it's jury members that are going to decide on this. You hear me? It's jury members that's going to decide on this. So if the public is pushing that the case is flawed, the jury is seeing it the same way. And this is what's being taught. And it was going across the news. Sometimes, because the news is dirty sometimes. The news will hold it on you. It was going across the news at times about how the case was out of control. And we all seen that, honestly. He said, that's why Dust getting 100 years. Oh, did he? Oh, yeah. Because the public don't went against him. He's in trouble. It's over. Yeah, when the public go against you like that, these are the people that got to make a decision on you. Unless you get a judge trial, and the judge is probably going to go and you got to try to get back on the technicality. So, yeah, he's in trouble. He's all the way in trouble. He said, I just find it funny that people try and make it seem so simple just to take a case to trial against a crooked system. And listen, with me, I try to tell you, Rufio, that's with me. When I'm making simple with me, you understand what I'm saying? I'm going to trial. I don't care what they talking about. You're not just telling me anything to take a plea deal. And I got experience. I've been going to trial since 2005. You understand what I'm saying? I am going to trial. I am in the law books of going to trial. I'm in the law book for suppression hearings. I'm in the law books. I'm spanking. I'm not playing. So in certain situations, I understand certain people, might not have the heart, but that takes some kind of courage that you got to get within you. And every time that I went to trial, I still had them feelings in my guts, but I overpowered it and said, no, I'm going. No matter what they said, no matter what they tried to tell me, I said, I'm going. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to have that feeling. Juan Rios, Thug would have probably got found guilty for the same charges Shannon did, but the judge would have been fair how she did today. I believe that the state knew Thug was finna walk. And I agree with that. I totally agree that the state knew Thug was going to get this. So they said, all right, we got to get a conviction. And the only way to get a conviction is to try to give him a plea to probation, the best deal. They even tried to take his assets in the first plea deal, and the lawyer rejected that. Come on, man. But they did agree to him not coming into Atlanta just for certain purposes. He said, Rufio, but you knew you were innocent, right? Did you have an overwhelming amount of info? I knew I was innocent. Thug knew he was innocent. I'm sure these other guys knew they were innocent too. I knew I was innocent. Even in times where I went to trial where I might have felt they got me, I'm going to war. You find your angle in a case the same way the prosecution finds their angle, and that's what you go at. That's the name of the game. The name of the game is to whoever makes the jury believe the story. That's the game. The prosecutors lie all the time, but they understand the name of the game is whoever makes the prosecutors believe the story is going to be the winner. Straight up. He said, against you. He said, I just thought you said you wrongfully charged. I've been to court, I said 5 times. I've been to trial a lot of times. You understand what I'm saying? I go to war. This is what I'm saying. Thug was wrongfully charged. A lot of people get wrongfully charged. You think Thug was guilty of everything they charged him with? You know these people make up charges too. You feel me? Pay attention to that though. If you were wrongly charged, I'll be striding the trial as well. I'm going to trial if I'm right or wrong. That's the thing. Especially when I was out there in the street. Them dudes playing in the street, they should be going to trial on everything. But these dudes be cooperating and then go back out there, commit the same crimes, and then they got to cooperate some more until their cooperation runs out. This is what happens with them type of dudes. You understand what I'm saying? Let me see. They gave him a deal of 15 years, but then took it back and offered him a 45 to 20 to do 25. Laughing. Them people crazy. Yeah, I would have never took that though. I'm not taking no 15 years probation. You know what I'm saying? Unless I just feel that I can't beat this. But you have to understand, if they come to you with a plea 30 days before the trial's over, they know they're losing. They're not coming to you with a plea 30 days before trial, especially a time served plea, if they know they're going to get you. So they knew they was losing. That's why they gave him the deal in that situation. For real. And we got to be honest. Yeah. You said, hopefully still files an appeal. Thug already took the plea, man. He already took the plea, man. He could try to file a habeas corpus or something, but he already took the deal, man. Thug just gotta fly straight, man. That he signed up for this. He gotta fly straight, man. And we gotta be honest. He signed up for this. He has to fly straight. If he doesn't, they are going to rock his socks. You see what they did with his brother. He violated. They gave him 9-ball. They gave him a 9-ball now for violating. So if Thug violates, they're going to want to give him that Twinkie, that 25. Tell him to go sit down. And this is what you sign up for when you take them pleas. You know what I'm saying? When you start taking them pleas, you sign up for that. You put yourself in that situation. You know? Yeah, man, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button and share this video for me, man. I really appreciate everybody that watches the channel. And, you know, we growing. We on our way to 4K subscribers, and we going to be here. You know? We going to be here. We here. And I appreciate y'all. I think Funk got 15. Now he got a 9-ball. I think they gave him a 9-ball, man. They gave him a 9-ball. He had 15 years probation, but I think the judge only gave him a 9-piece McNugget. You know what I'm saying? And he got to sit on that. He took the plea to rush to get home. This is what I'm saying. Now, if Funk would have sat down for this 9 months, because he took the plea about 9 months ago. Let's be real. If he would have sat down for another 9 months, he probably would have spanked it too. But these dudes be so anxious to get back to get themselves in jail. This is the thing. Sometimes in these situations, and I'm going to be real honest, and some people might not agree with this, but sometimes these situations are good for certain people that get a second chance because it gives them time to reflect. They don't have them drugs in their system all the time because they might be doing a little something while they're in there, but they get time to reflect some so that hopefully some of them come home on a better note. This is good for some people sometimes, even though it's a bad situation. But when you spank a situation like this, you better understand that you got to fly differently. You feel me? Let me see. You said Mook Tunk deserved to come home. The state did him. The state rocked his bell. You hear me? Mook Tunk got his bell rocked. He got a nickel because he signed that plea deal. And he said that He didn't say YSL was a gang. And the judge said, hold up. You signed it. You seen it. Boom. He got on that stand and got crazy. She violated it. You feel me? So, and you better know, little Woody, they laying on him. I promise you. Because he done got paid off this, then got lit off this. They laying on him. And I'm going to be real. You said he would have definitely spanked it if he had baby charges. Yeah. You got to think about it. If the person knows they're guilty and they have a change to plea versus gambling, a chance to plea, they're gambling with their life, they're going to take the plea. And I agree. But you got to understand, sometimes you might be guilty. And I want you to understand this. But if you see the avenue of convincing the jury that you're not guilty, you keep riding. This is how it go. It's the game. It's all a game, man. The system is a game. They just got an advantage at it. Pay attention to that. They rocked his bell. Yes, they did. Rocked his bell. Just because he took that plea deal and he act like he didn't see that the YSL was a criminal organization that he signed. Oh, you didn't see that, huh? Well, the judge said, well, listen, you signed this and you looked here. You had to see that. We're not going for that. And you got on the stand and played dumb. See, he didn't get on the stand and act like he was stupid. He got on the stand straight saying, no, I didn't see this. He should have played the little Woody mode. If he would have played that little Woody mode and act stupid, they would have threw his thing out too. But he got on there and was letting them know, no, I'm not crazy. I understand what you're saying. No, I didn't see that. I signed this. Yeah. Oh, the judge said, oh, you signed it? You didn't see it? Oh, well, your lawyer didn't read over with you? All right, well, take this nickel pickle. Go ahead and sit down for this nickel pickle. You got something to think about. Yeah. Woody on Vlad answering real trial questions with going on. Hey, listen, Woody on stand get real comfortable on Vlad's stand. He's on Vlad's stand real comfortable right now. I ain't gonna lie. Woody is real comfortable on Vlad right now. And I'm telling you, they laying on Woody. I can guarantee you that. They're laying on him. He said, I've been part of the system since 211. It's no easy feat to be brave while fighting charges. If you stood solid, like you say, I commend you. Yeah. You'll never hear nothing about me staying solid. And I'm here for the long haul. You hear me? I'm going to be a YouTuber till I check out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to be a YouTuber till I check. So you'll never hear nothing about me. You know what I'm saying? I've been to trial several times. And I go to war. You know what I'm saying? And they know it. You understand what I'm saying? Them people know it. I'm going to trial. That's why I live right. I live positive. I live right. Anything in my past is in my past. I don't want to go back to my past. I'm glad I made it through my past. I'm living right. You understand what I'm saying? And I still go to war. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't playing. Yeah. I feel Woody saved them too. Woody did save him, but he the reason why the case got started. And I'm going to be real. Woody is the reason this case got started because he had been cooperating back in 2015-16. He had been getting locked up and cooperating. So Woody is the reason for the case. They started grabbing them other dudes next to him and they started talking too. So Woody is the reason it started and he's the reason it got messed up. So both ways. Woody is the reason them dudes were sitting in jail. Yeah, he said the lady that put her boyfriend in a suitcase, they offered her a plea of 15 years. She took it to trial and got life yesterday. See, that is a different situation. If you knew, and I'm sure, I got to go look that case up, but I'm sure she admitted to something. And when you start admitting to something and then you still want to take it to trial, it don't look good. If you're connected to your boyfriend situation and y'all have text messages talking crazy and all that stuff, it don't look good for you. You feel me? He said, you're doing 85% on violent offenses if you lose at trial. No plea deal. Yeah. They're going to rock your socks. You're doing 85%. Yes, you are. And it is okay to be scared of trial. It is. But when you out there talking that gangster talk and you trying to portray this image to the people, and you got these young dudes out here following your dumb footsteps because of the stuff you're saying, and then you get in there and get scared, it's like, come on, man, you just manipulating the culture to just do more stupid stuff. You feel me? Stand on what you're saying if that's what you're saying. Why you don't want to tell them to do something different if that's not what you really into? You feel me? And a lot of these dudes will try to stand on one thing to mislead a whole bunch of jokers, and then now they don't want to be about that life no more. Come on, man. Now you ain't ready to go to trial. So I'm saying it's not a bad thing to be scared to go to trial. I understand that, because some people got to take the plea. Some people got to plea out. But don't talk like you ready to go to war if you really not ready. That's just my opinion. 100%. You are right. Most definitely. Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking from experience. You know, I'm a changed man. You know, I feel good to be positive. You know, I've been through a lot. And, you know, if you subscribe to the channel, eventually you're going to hear about my stories. You know, once I get my subscribers up, I'm going to start talking about my stories. You know, and I'm going to show details and paperwork, you know, all of that, you know, from my stories. It's in the history. But I'm going to get my subscribers up first before I start telling my stories that way, you know. And I appreciate everybody that watches the channel. If you haven't hit the like button already, hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button and share this video. Appreciate y'all. He said, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, you know. Straight up brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm a straight up brother, man. Straight up brother, man. We all been through things in life. Some things are more severe than others, but we all been through things. And, you know, I just got a major story. You know what I'm saying? I got a major story. For me being in the front page of the paper. You feel me? People that know me, they know. I was on the front page of the paper. Fighting for my life. You feel me? Went to trial. I had a 2-week trial. You know? And I went to war. Lawyer cost me 20 bands. You feel me? I went to trial. And this was almost 20 years ago. So my story's coming out, man. My story gonna come out. My time gonna come. I'm gonna be at the top of this thing one day. From my experiences. And me turning my life around. You know, watching things like this, you know, from me having experiences, this is the type of things I'm into. I like watching trials. I like seeing this type of stuff, you know, because it's real life stuff. It's things that we're dealing with every day. And, you know, everybody doesn't understand how the system works, especially if you haven't been through it. If you've been through these certain things in the system, you understand that the system is foul. They play a lot of games. It's a buddy-buddy system. You know, and we're not a part of that buddy system because we are the pieces that they play with. So we have to pay attention to that. And they play with us at a whole nother level. You feel me? I definitely appreciate everybody that watches the channel, man. Y'all the best. And, you know, we're going to get out of here shortly, man. And I really appreciate y'all. I hope all of y'all subscribe to the channel. I hope all y'all hit the like button for me. And make sure y'all tune in. We're going to be back tomorrow, 12:30. And it's your boy DZ, man. Y'all the best. You already know. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Now. And go check that merch out. SBGBTV.com. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Now.